All right, my friends, welcome to episode 407 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry, the professor, and I teach. I am a professor, as my title implies. Over there is Anthony, the dev. He makes games. He plays games. He soon will play games on a Steam OLED. We'll talk about that today, and also we'll talk about the Golden Joystick Awards that occurred, the first award season of the awards of the season. It seems like. Where do you want to start first?
I'm going to start first that I am always, when it comes to putting money on any kind of team, I'm betting against the team that you're for.
No shit, dude. Travis figured that out a long time ago, and he's made a little bit of money off of me. I'm really bad when it comes to
because I'm just like,
anyone to win.
Well, you supported the Wave last weekend, and the Rain won. And then you're like, fine, I'll support the Rain. And they lost. So,
and
Megan
Rapinoe goes out in 2 minutes with a fucking snapped Achilles.
So, yeah.
Yes. Well, always bet against me. That is a good
That's the universal law.
It really is. I mean, the amount of times that Travis and I bet on Oregon versus Ohio State University, and I lost every time. I never won. Never won. So my Giants won the World Series 3 times, and that's really all I can claim to have won. Everything else is just, yeah. But we were at the final yesterday. It was a lot of fun.
Seemed like it. I'm sure it was actually a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Speaking of a lot of fun, yeah, that OLED Steam Deck that came out of nowhere.
Dude. So I think I mentioned on the podcast that I had pre-ordered a PlayStation Portal. And once they announced this, I was like, shit, maybe I should cancel that pre-order. But then it turns out PlayStation canceled it for me.
Yeah.
Because my bank has weird issues with my zip code. So same card, same zip code, same everything. I buy games on PlayStation with, no problem. But when I want to buy hardware, every time it cancels. And I'd forgotten about that. And now I'm like, well, okay, that's the universe telling me I'm going to get a Steam Deck OLED if I can. Because I'll just transfer that money over and a little bit more that I've got recently. And I'm getting this thing, man, if I can.
Yes.
Because it looks dope.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to first up say, I feel bad for anyone who bought a Steam Deck in the last, 4 weeks.
Dude, when Valve said we're not going to have a 2.0, we're not going to have...
They didn't say a 2.0, and that's the thing. If you go look at their specific quotes that they said, they never said new hardware in that way. They said there wouldn't be a 2.0 version that was new processor, new upgraded, really, a different hardware. They've still, even with this, said that 2.0 is quite a ways off. The hardware we'd want to use just doesn't even exist yet.
Doesn't exist yet, exactly. Yeah.
So it's at least minimum probably 2 years before you see a full revision. But I would like to think that Valve might be willing to work with people that bought one in the last couple weeks to be so.
Yeah, because
maybe you don't want that. You can send it back to us, and we'll take some of the cost off of the new one or something, just to be nice. Because wow, I don't think people were expecting this at all. I wasn't. I really wasn't. I was waiting years before seeing any kind of revision.
I thought the same thing. That's why I was going to pick up a Portal, because I was like, I want a Steam Deck, but I want the 2, not the 1.
Yeah.
But this is enough of an upgrade, and we'll talk about it. That I am ready. I'm ready to finally dive into the Steam Deck community.
And you have a Switch. You have a Switch OLED, right?
I do, which is why.
So I mean, the screen seems pretty nice.
Dude, the fucking OLED. The Digital Foundry video was like, this is stupid because you're going to watch this on a non-OLED screen, and those of you who have a Switch, I think it was or maybe it was the IGN one. Anyway, it was if you have a OLED Switch and you upgrade it from the LCD, you know the difference. But this one has even better with HDR.
Yeah.
I mean, OLED's fucking HDR. Beautiful, dude. OLED is beautiful.
Yeah. So that's a thing.
Dude.
And if it was just that, I probably still wouldn't. I'd be like, fine, whatever. That's a nice screen, but still. But now I've seen another interview. It was Adam Savage's Tested channel. They did a long interview with Valve on it.
Really?
They went to Bellevue in the offices. They got to see the limited edition hands-on. and then just talk to them about it. Basically, the entire internals are different. Like it's the same processor, but the layout, like you could pop off a LCD Steam Deck's back and the OLED Steam Deck back, and they will not look the same.
Well,
They
yeah,
are, they are things are shifted around. They have more space because the OLED screen is thinner.
right.
So they have bigger battery. They have space for that, better cooling, better fans. The trackpads and the thumbsticks are different. They replaced those and found better ones. There was some other stuff there that was just different. It runs cooler. Beyond a bigger battery, actually the OLED screen just draws less power. The processor's and GPU die have been shrunk to 6 nanometer instead of 7, so they are more power efficient. The RAM speed has been upgraded. Like, you just go through the list of things and you're like, yeah, this isn't a Switch 2, but it makes the one that came out, 18 months ago? Roughly? How long has the original Steam Deck been out?
I thought it was longer than 18 months.
Maybe 2 years?
Yeah, because I remember pre-ordering it before the pandemic, so I don't remember exactly when it launched, but I would guess 2020,
so basically, I mean,
it
it makes it look like a prototype compared to this.
It does, and I mean, yeah, this looks like a Steam Deck Pro or whatever.
Yeah, it just like they learned so much, and they're like, no, we've made it better. Just every piece is just better constructed.
Right, even though it's like in general the same like family of stuff. Except for that screen, but yeah, they've just fine-tuned everything. Where everything put together is just like, oh, this is an upgrade.
Yes,
I am so fucking glad I waited, and I'm so glad that Sony canceled my pre-order. Because I mean, how many PlayStation Portals are getting canceled? People are like, oh, okay.
For this,
yeah.
And even I was still on the fence. I'm like, this is fine. No, time has no meaning. Steam Deck were released February 25th, 2022.
Are you fucking kidding?
Nope. We are 18 months out. 18 months.
We just talked about how much it's not good for me to bet anything, but I would have bet fucking money, real money, that it came out in 2020.
Nope.
Holy fuck, dude.
It really is just what people bought was a prototype. And this is the thing that I will go off my segue of being like, I sometimes hate Valve with this shit. I'll be honest. And why, like, I always want to wait with them because I just don't know what the fuck they're going to do. And I said it in our Discord server. Valve does whatever the hell they want to do because there are no consequences to them as a company if this succeeds or fails or does anything. Like, Steam still exists.
Yeah.
Steam's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
It's great for them to be able to experiment and try new things.
Yeah.
But it doesn't give them... it doesn't put them in a place where they have to make sure things succeed. It doesn't matter if their experiments succeed. They want them to because of the Valve brand, but it doesn't in the end matter, which makes a certain level of apathy in some ways. So,
but you have like the Steam controller, which some of the things must have led to this, right? Like you can use touch pads on that to simulate a mouse moving.
Yeah. There's a lot of pieces over the years that have led to the Steam Deck that they just reuse and build, but you can't guarantee that they're going to. It's not like they ever came out with another Steam controller. They're like, that was enough. We're done. Steam machines back in the day. It's just Valve's methodology. You cannot prescribe what would make the best business sense. It's like Valve. The best business is out the window with them, like, because they don't have to.
Because they don't need it. They don't. Yeah, they don't need to worry about it.
They're not a company that's worried about. Oh, we made a prototype Steam Deck. We thought that was good enough and fine. It shipped well. People liked it. But then you compare it to this now, and you're like, well, why wasn't it this?
Yeah, exactly.
Or even if it didn't have the OLED, why wasn't it this with an LCD screen? And who knows? But. Yeah, this is the real one. This is it, and this makes me be like, okay, I can buy in now. I know for a fact there could be other revisions that come down the line at this point, but this is good enough. And when someone told me I could stream the PS remote to it, that was kind of this big selling point to me. I was like, oh, all right then.
That's kind of where I popped off too, because when you were talking about that, I was thinking, okay, I already put down for the Portal. which is only $200, so it's significantly less, a third the price or whatever. But if this can do that plus a bunch of the other stuff it can do, like I can run Xbox games off of this too.
Yep.
Whatever, it doesn't even matter. Just my Steam library alone to be able to sit on my couch and play Baldur's Gate 3 on this fucking thing. Yep. I'm ready. I'm so ready. I hope to God it's not like the first Steam Deck where like you get your pre-order, but then it's, a certain amount of people get it and then it's closed off. Because I am so fucking excited.
Yeah. It was that
Rocket League on this, Rocket League nights on this. I'm ready, dude.
Rocket League, honestly, weirdly for me, I'm like, oh man, Stardew Valley. That'd be fun.
You can play that on your
Switch too, but I'm like, but I have it on PC. I guess I do have it on Switch. My kids play it on Switch all the time. Yes,
exactly. That's why you can't.
I don't have to compete with them on this. Like, it's mine. There's no competition for the hardware. It's mine.
There's a bigger screen. The bezel's smaller.
Yep.
Fucking 90 hertz instead of 60.
Yep.
Just the idea that you can, with a slider, you can say, I think theoretically, I saw them put it to like 40, 60, 90, whatever. I guess you could do like any variation in between. I don't know if that actually makes sense.
Yeah, no, I was when watching some videos. You can totally do that. So you can have it run at the full 90 hertz. You can basically frame lock it however you want. You could do 60 and it will like lock things to 60. Weirdly, because of this, you can do 45 hertz on the screen, which doubles to 90, which feels, so you can do less frames per second than 60, but it will still feel very smooth.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do and save the battery a little bit.
Yeah, you could do 45 frames per second, doubled, which is pretty great. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos talking about it, and they're like, yeah, we tried all sorts of variations, and it's real good.
Oh God, dude, this is erotic. I'm so excited. So I'm also really excited. This is stupid, but I'm excited about the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack because
that is true.
I don't want to keep buying new headphones. I want to use.
It's so true. You're just like, no, let me just plug into the hardware port. It's great.
Yes, exactly. This is so out of the blue and so unexpected. It's fucking crazy. When you put that in Discord, I was like, "What is this?" I couldn't watch because I was in class teaching.
Yeah.
And they were doing a quiz, so I saw it. I was like, "Oh, it's a video. I can't look at it." And then you sent a fucking non-video version. I was like, "Oh, thank God." And I was like, "Okay, what is this?" Oh my God, what the fuck? And I had to put my phone down. I was like, "I can't wait to look at this later."
So with this, we can go through the lineup now on things. So the current 64 gigabyte LCD and the 512 gigabyte LCD are both discontinued.
Yep.
They price dropped them. They're now $350 and $450 respectively. And they're just like, when they're gone, they're gone. They're not gonna do any more of those. The new entry level one, which is the same price as the old 64 gigabyte one, is $400. It's still an LCD. It's the 256 gigabyte LCD for $400. It's the Steam Deck you could get for the past 18 months. No changes. That's just what it is. The 550, which I think, if I'm right, is a 512 gigabyte OLED.
That's right.
It's replacing the $530 512 gigabyte LCD.
Yep.
A little bit more, but you are getting a lot of much better screen and a bunch of extra stuff. So there's that one. There's a $650 1 terabyte OLED, which is the high end now. It comes with a exclusive case. It's like a case within a case.
The liner.
I hear you like cases, so you put your case in a case. Yeah.
You always need a case. You need a hat for your hat and a case for your case.
Yeah, and actually some of the reviews that doesn't interest me that much. There's some. It's neat, but as most of the reviews said, there's better cases, third-party cases on the market.
And also, for $100 extra, you could spend less than that to get a micro SD that is 512.
Yes, or you could just swap out the M2 inside of it.
That's true too.
Because they're just M2 NVMe drives as the main storage. I'm like, have you seen how cheap those get now?
They're very cheap, but I guess that would mean that the whatever SteamOS is on a different internal drive besides that.
No, you just reformat. You just install SteamOS onto it.
Oh, okay.
You're just effectively formatting it and putting a new one in. It's like upgrading your OS hard drive in a computer.
Yeah.
No, I've seen stuff on doing that for the LCDs.
Okay.
It's fine. So that's where I'm just like, I don't think I'd pay that for that. And then there's the limited edition, which is only available in US and Canada.
Yeah.
It has a transparent skin. It's like an orangish red highlights throughout.
So it looks like a Switch Pro controller in terms of like the slightly see-through black.
Yes. Yep. And they're like, it's very limited. It probably is, and that will probably sell out. It's for $680.
Yeah, it's like
so
$30
playing
more.
a $30 premium for this limited edition one. I don't care. I really don't.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm going for that one first. I won't get it, and then I will go for the 1 terabyte one.
I'm going to do the 512 because I don't want the screen thing that's on the terabyte.
You don't like the anti-glare glass?
Nope, I don't want the etched glass. Not at all.
Interesting.
It looks worse.
Really?
Yep. Makes the colors slightly different. Makes it a little bit darker. Don't want it.
Oh, okay. That's something to think about. Okay.
And that's personal. That is a personal preference to me.
Yeah.
I just do not like the look of etched glass screens. If I have a choice between them. Yeah. So I'm like, saves me $100, I guess.
Right, you want to pay $100 more for something you don't actually like.
Yeah. Because other than that, they're exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't think I'll be using like 512 for the type of games that I'm going to be running on here is fine.
It's
and an
be an
SD
indie
card
machine.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. No,
I'm not putting the biggest game on there could be Baldur's Gate 3.
Which is like 120 or something.
Yeah, that's fine. But then I look at the rest of the stuff I have. I'm like, I'm not installing that on a Steam Deck.
People are talking about in terms of the battery life and whatever. Like the worst thing is the AAA blockbusters. I'm like, I'm not sure I'll be playing that on this.
I don't think it's really meant for those. Is the thing.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it can, of course, because you can try to lower settings and just make stuff work. But it's really not meant ideally for that. It's meant for the fact that most of the games that get released on Steam are indies, weird titles, don't require much power. I mean, would I play a lot of Vampire Survivors on this thing? Yes.
Yeah.
Does that require much of it? No. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of games I play on that just don't require a lot of power, and I can go pretty light there. And then you have the streaming from the PS5.
Right. Yeah. Do you know the setup for that? Like how that?
It's an app that you have to go. There's a step to go. There's a process to go setting it up so your credentials get saved. But it's a Linux app because you can use it to run remote play on Linux desktops, and it works. Since Steam OS is Linux, it just works as well.
Perfect. Then
there's plenty of guides for it.
Okay.
And then you just are like, yep, you just run remote play like you would on a PC, and you add that. It's Chiaki, is the app, and you just add it as a non-Steam app into the Steam Deck. It's Steam OS because Steam just still lets you do that. Yeah. So there you go, and then you just run that.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I got confirmation from a few friends before they have current Steam Decks, and I'm like, hey, do you use this? And they're like, I haven't used it in a while. And they messaged me later in the day and like, yep, installed it, went through the process, works great. Thumbs up.
Okay.
No problems.
Perfect.
I'm like,
wonderful.
All right, that's all I needed to know. So, is it easy as a PlayStation Portal? No.
Right. Yeah, no, that's just set up to go.
Yeah, you do have to be willing to do some setup here, but yeah, no, my thought is
sounds minimal, so it's fine.
Yeah, my thought is the 550, the middle tier, and most of the reviews I've read and watched now, which is probably about half dozen, they all recommend that one over spending the extra money. So that's why I was like, all right, I don't want the screen. Okay. And they're just like that. They're like, that's
because of the cost of storage or the screen.
It's the cost of storage. It's a sweet spot. They're like, they just don't think that the $100 more is really worth it for what you get. Unless you really want the the etched glass. But because they were like, the case is fine, but it's not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of glare on my screen, so that's the only reason why I'm drawn to that. But I guess I haven't really played with one. I don't know if I have anything that has that. So
yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know how much you do with glare. I guess, yeah. I mean, you have the Switch OLED. How does that handle? Is it super glary?
No, it's pretty good, except for when I'm outside. So when I'm outside, I notice it more. But I don't know if that even has. If it has that, then I guess it wouldn't matter.
I don't think it does.
Yeah. So I mean, I take.
Do you have a screen protector on that one now?
I do. Yes.
Okay, and that doesn't change anything. Okay.
So, but I'm excited, man. Like to have just have better access to my Steam library. Sounds great. I feel like I've been rewarded for waiting.
Yes, correct.
Stoked. Well, patience paid off on this one. Holy fuck.
There was two ways this was only two ways it was gonna go. Valve was actually gonna support it and do something cool like we're getting now, or they were just done. Like it just was a one-off kind of experiment.
Yeah.
And either way, waiting is the right choice on that with them. Yeah, and I still think it's probably better than any of the other third party ones.
Are you having interest in like the ROG Ally and the ROG Ally or whatever in the Lenovo Go? Yeah, this looks better than all of them. Are you interested at all in the dock? Are you getting one of those?
No.
Or just gonna keep it handheld only?
No, I don't need to use it. I don't need to connect it to a screen.
Yeah.
At least right now.
Computer to play
exactly.
If you're gonna dock it. Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to do that. And really, in the end, you could still do that without a dock, I believe. I think you can just do an adapter. I mean, it's just out of the...
Yeah, you probably could.
The top port. The dock is a nicety, and I'm pretty sure I can just get an adapter to funnel it out to a full screen if I cared. But yeah, I'd likely just be at my computer at that point. I don't know why. I don't know the circumstances I would do that.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I'm checking my library's compatibility. I assume most of them will run on the.
Yeah, even the ones that aren't that can't that aren't approved. Like most will run. Some will be like fully verified.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're completely like the controls are all set and the whole thing. But most everything will, in some way. I don't think that's much of an issue. I think someone showed on one of the ones I was watching, it wasn't a problem. It was mostly like, oh, I could play that. They were playing Borderlands 2, and I'm like, oh, that could be fun.
Yeah.
And they were getting like 90 FPS in Borderlands 2 on it. And I was like, that's cool. Yeah. I could grind a lot of guns on the go.
I'm looking at what's on here, and it's like Rocket League, obviously, Baldur's Gate, but then like Hogwarts Legacy, which I started, and Midnight Sun, which I started. I'm like, oh yeah, just sitting on my couch and playing those. Oh, it's gonna be more inclined to play those and finish them off. So good.
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's pretty great. Pretty great so far. And great announcement. They announced Thursday of this past week, and it goes up for pre-sale at 10 a.m. Or not even pre-sale. This isn't a pre-sale. At 10 a.m. on Thursday, you can just put the order in. And if they don't have to like set up long queues or lines or anything to like, oh, you're going to get it in Q1 of next year, it should just be you order it, and within like a week or two, you get it. Like they have them. They're just shipping them as they get ordered.
That would be great. That's what I'm hoping for, because I feel like tech is stabilized now with the supply chain where like it's easier to get. So
yeah, and that was the thing with the interview with some of the people at Valve from that tested video was like, yeah, they're like, our supply chain is so much better now. And whenever that was recorded, they were already said that they had shipments coming into their warehouses, so they have them ready to ship out, and they're going to keep on getting more. So, great. Yeah.
I see that your game Astroneer is deck playable, but not deck verified.
Yeah, we haven't gone through any of the verification
Yeah.
process. But it is playable, as I found out by watching a person's review who was using it.
Yeah.
And we have it in Office as well. We put it on a Steam Deck in Office.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's fine. It runs and the controls work. So,
Yeah.
I don't remember. There was something had to do to be deck verified that we're just like our QA and just the size of our company. We're like, we don't want to deal with that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
See, Alan Wake is Steam Deck compatible. Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, most games are really.
Yeah. There's more than I can play of my library is all Steam Deck verified, so I'm all good.
I mean, I'm going through Halls of Torment. That could be fun. Vampire Survivors. Midnight Suns, as you said. Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah.
Playing that again. Persona 4 Golden. That's cool.
Hitman 2, yes.
I mean, most of these are. What is this? This is just the verified games. I'm like, yeah, I have so much.
Yeah, me too.
And if I just go
time,
playable, yeah, it's another huge chunk of things.
I do have quite a bit that are unsupported, though. That's interesting.
Oh, weird. I didn't realize Last Epoch was unsupported. To function.
Well, like Batman Arkham Origins is unsupported.
I mean, some of this is just completely like, hey, this will not run on Linux at all.
Yeah, I think that's probably that makes sense.
Like they just Proton their middleware. It's not Valve's middleware. It's an open source middleware that Valve is doing a lot of work to improve because that's what they're using. And there's just a lot of stuff that isn't compatible via it.
Yep, I see quite a bit that is unsupported.
A lot less than I was there's a lot in mine that isn't, but not as much as I was thinking. There's a lot of untested as well. I have a lot.
Yeah, I have a bunch of untested too. Yeah, I've got like Batman Arkham City works, but Arkham Origins does not, which is interesting. Counter-Strike Source works. Counter-Strike 2 is that untested? Oh, it's playable. Never mind. Those are all playable.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know what the Valve's testing indicates these games you're saying don't function on the Steam Deck.
Yep. That's unsupported. Yeah.
Yeah, that is unsupported. I wonder how often they revise that list.
I sure someone said that they are constantly updating the list, so I wonder. Too.
Yeah.
I see Moonring is playable. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, there's more than enough on here.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm jumping in.
Excellent.
I'm debating. I have to do between that, or do I want to get an OLED TV?
Oh yeah.
I'm not doing both. I have to make a choice.
Yeah.
Do I want the deck? Do I want an OLED in my hand, the screen, or do I actually want to upgrade my 12-year-old TV? And I don't know right now because I only get one.
Yeah. Well, we have a QLED, not an OLED, and it's fucking great.
I know, that's the thing with it. I'm like, oh, that would be really nice. But do I use the TV truly enough? Not really. But those times that we do use it would be pretty nice. So I am now going back and forth between those two. I'm going to probably spend until Thursday morning agonizing over what I want to do. I mean, if let's say that the Steam Deck OLEDs just sell out and I don't get one, well, my decision will be made for me at that point. I'm like, fine. But we will see. But real excited to see these. And I think this is what I feel a lot of people needed to see. Like this first Steam Deck was great for excited people that really weren't early adopting and like, oh man, new tech. This, if anything, could be a more breakthrough product in the end.
Yeah, it seems to answer all the criticism people had. So anyone who's sitting out, I mean, there's a whole group of people like us who are like, yeah, maybe we have a bunch of stuff to play elsewhere, but if this gets better, yeah. And this proves to be something that has some staying power, and I guess it has. So I'm stoked. So
nice.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Next on our list, the golden joysticks were awarded. The golden joysticks are they British? Are they...
Games Radar, is that British?
Oh, so it's Games Radar's it's their awards.
Yeah, and they're kind of like the earliest ones that come out for Game of the Year, and they usually get reported on decently.
Yeah, their cutoff is like August 30th or something like that.
Yeah, it's a little weird. This usually took place It was weird because I'm really curious sometimes about like what's in the nomination categories. Specifically talk about that cutoff because like Alan Wake, well, that's true. Alan Wake 2 is in Best Game Trailer, which I bet the trailer came out earlier.
But there's a Critics' Choice Award.
And a Critics' Choice Award, which probably is something later.
Yeah, because someone was talking about... And
that's why it's not in any other category. And I'm like, that seems real weird.
Yep. It's because their cutoff is late August or early September.
Yeah. But I think just from a high level, so you like... I think Baldur's Gate 3. This is an indication that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to clean up on all these awards in the end.
Yeah, it's going to run the table, I think.
Because it got best storytelling here. I don't think it deserved best visual design. I think Baldur's Gate 3 looks great. Sure. But visual design in that category was like Hi-Fi Rush and Street Fighter 6, and I think they are better visual design. Not just because of look, but actual like stylistic choice and cohesion to a visual design. I would choose either of those probably over Baldur's Gate. Again, not to say I dislike Baldur's Gate look. I think it looks very much like a nice fantasy D&D game. But
I would choose Diablo 4 over Baldur's Gate 3 in that category, to be honest.
Would you?
I would. But maybe it's recency bias. I think Diablo 4 looks fucking stunning.
It does.
And I know it's nice to have the BioWare-esque kind of cutscenes for Baldur's Gate, and I know they put a shit ton of work into it. But pulled out, they both look great. I just feel like the Diablo 4 has like such great detail. It's crazy.
Yeah. Still playing award went to No Man's Sky. That seems fine and expected to a point. I'm like, this list, I'm like, sure, why not?
I'm still playing it. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Larian got Studio of the Year as well. Does not surprise me. Game expansion to Phantom Liberty also doesn't surprise me with the stuff that's actually there. Maybe you could argue Dead Cells Return to Castlevania.
Yeah, that's the only other one that stands out in my mind this year.
But I think Phantom Liberty kind of, as a touchstone for an expansion, really kind of shown what CD Projekt Red can do when they do things well. Sea of Stars, indie game. That seems right.
I'm surprised. Can I pause there for a second?
Yeah.
Do you not consider Baldur's Gate 3 an indie game?
It should be. I mean, this is the whole thing. What is indie? So here's the thing, because I saw people talking about this, Dave the Diver being in there, which are like, oh, that's an indie game.
It's Nexon, though. Yeah.
It's Nexon. It's just studio with inside Nexon. That's not actually like...
Not indie.
So, I mean, like, the old...
But the style is...
It's such a weird thing now, because I feel like indie now means like a visual style and like a budget, and people use it, as opposed to what it originally was, which is you're independently publishing it. So usually a developer publishing it themselves.
Yeah, because the independent studio before, the budget was just enough to make it look like that. Shovel Knight or whatever else.
Yep.
So
I mean that is a true statement that Baldur's Gate 3 is, from the business side of things, is completely independent. Yep. Like Larian developed it and published it. They didn't have an outside help on it. So you are correct. It's just in today's language now, I just don't think indie means that to people anymore.
Yep.
I don't know what the hell they think are small studios doing it themselves, what they should be called anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Larian's not even small, but yeah.
They're not, but they're still independent. I mean, I would say before PopCap got bought, when I was there, 600 people, but we were still indie. Like,
were you 600 before?
Yeah,
EA came in?
we were 650 before we got bought.
Wow, interesting.
We had grown to about that, but it's not like we were looking. We made all the games ourselves. We marketed them ourselves. We put them out ourselves. We didn't go to anybody else to do it.
Yeah.
So we would still consider ourselves indie at that point.
Right.
Just because we're big enough that we can have like multiple teams making multiple games didn't change that.
Right.
I mean, does it change it whenever we started publishing other people's indie games? Because we did a couple of those.
Yeah, I wonder if but you're still independent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
the nomenclature is just weird.
It is weird. But I think Sea of Stars winning from these, great.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. Best VR game is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
What else came out? It was
not a whole lot.
Horizon Call of the Mountain. Yeah.
I don't know if Mortal Kombat 1 deserves best multiplayer game. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
that's a hard one.
Depends on what the cutoff was. Cause I was about to say, I mean, I don't know. This is a hot take, I guess, but Mario Wonder as a fucking multiplayer game, man. It does something I've never seen any other game do, and maybe I just haven't played enough. But fuck, that's my fucking multiplayer game of the year. But I get it. I don't know. Street Fighter 6, I felt like really.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Did a good job bringing new people in and playing online. Yeah.
Audio, that's just a tough category. I'm fine with 16 getting it. I'm a Soken stan for life, but Hi-Fi Rush could have easily gotten it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like if Hi-Fi Rush released like in August, maybe it
would be
remembered more, you know?
Yep.
That got that hit at the beginning of the year and it was so good.
I don't really care about game trailer. Really cool.
That's weird.
The Phantom Liberty cinematic trailer was pretty nice.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, for me, the Tears of the Kingdom final trailer was the thing that gave me like shivers. Because Nintendo just makes great Zelda trailers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we missed the news. There's going to be a live action Zelda as well.
Yeah.
Jack Black as Tingle. Make it happen.
Oh my god, I would that would bring
be
me
price
from
of
like
admission right there. Done.
That would make me go from tepid to like, yeah, okay, they know what they're doing.
Sure, whatever.
Oh my god, that's fucking great.
That is my take of fan casting there, but it won't happen. But Link's got to talk, and I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with that, because the last time Link's like really talked was the stupid animated show.
Yep. Well, fuck, man.
Excuse me, princess.
Live action, really? Anime would have been my choice, but
Studio Ghibli. I mean,
yeah,
style anime, like you're talking like Princess Mononoke or any of that stuff. I'm like, that's what Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are made to look like. Why don't we just continue the trend and homage? Just do that.
Let's come full circle. Yes.
Yes.
That's what everyone expected. And no, where you got live action. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Although the best trailer, they also had Baby Steps reveal trailer on there.
Well, that was a good choice. That would be a good choice. That should have been the one. That trailer was amazing. It's completely sold me on the game.
Yep.
Damn.
Best community game, Baldur's Gate 3. Is that sure?
Is that only because they're the newest community and haven't gotten jaded yet.
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom was on there for community.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
The other ones like Final Fantasy 14, Warframe, Deep Rock Galactic, very multiplayer focused. Yeah. Dreams too, like that.
Yes.
Full community around it. I'm like, Baldur's Gate 3 has a lot of mods.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of the community. I don't know about Tears of the Kingdom though.
No, I don't know. I don't know what community they're talking about.
Yeah, you have VR game, Horizon Call of the Mountain. Doesn't shock me. Oh, this is the funny best gaming hardware. I was like, what? Okay, let's go through this thing. PlayStation VR 2, which won. The Turtle Beach Stealth Pro headset. The Alienware 34 AW3423 DWF, which is a monitor, and that's the
Oh, it's a fucking monitor, yeah.
the Nitro Deck, the Asus ROG Strix Scope 296. I don't even know what the hell that is. And the Samsung 990 Pro, which is an NVMe drive.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
I'm like, what the hell is this category?
I'm looking at this. I never knew what this Nitro Deck was, but it's basically like a Steam Deck-esque shell for you slide your Steam or your Switch into it, and you've got back paddles and stuff. It looks like a Steam Deck, but
oh, nice. It's just like
a Switch.
If you want to make your Switch, so you just slide in the like center part, not the Joy-Cons.
Exactly, you slide in the screen. Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
That is interesting.
That may not be bad.
Yeah.
That's funny. I mean, well, it was nominated for a Golden Joystick Best Gaming Hardware. So there you go.
That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's see here. And the Alienware is just a big ass monitor. Yep.
It is just a big ass monitor. I'm sure it's a nice monitor, but I'm like, okay.
No, PSVR 2 has got the tech behind it. The rest of those. Yeah. Breakthrough Award is a game I still need to beat by the end of the year or play by the end of the year. Cocoon.
Yep.
Hear lots of good things about it.
I have too. And I've heard it's not that long to play.
No, it's 4 hours, which is as long as the new game I just fired up today. So I'm excited about these short games at the end of the year. Trying to get a few more games in before the end of the year.
Critics' Choice is Alan Wake 2, and I don't know why or how. I don't know what Critics' Choice means.
Yeah.
Is it just people at Games Radar, the critics there, being like, no, we choose Alan Wake 2, even though
it says, as voted on by a group of journalists from Games Radar, PC Gamer, Future Game Show, Edge Magazine, Retro Gamer, and Play Magazine.
Okay.
So, yep. It must be their family of, publications.
Best streaming game, Valorant. Sure.
Yeah.
It's always up there. Best lead performer, Ben Starr for Clive Rosfield.
Yes.
Sure. There's
a lot of good ones on this list, though. Yeah,
the Ika Villi and Matthew Peretta, just how they do Alan Wake is pretty incredible.
Yeah. Well, that's cool that it's both of them, the physical actor and the voice actor.
Voice actor, yeah. I mean, they talk. I saw an interview with them behind the scenes, and they're like, no, the character is. They both agree that like is both of theirs. Yeah. And how that they play off one another, and they like have to kind of become one mind when doing the part. It's very interesting. Very different. Melanie Libbard for Saga and Alan Wake 2. Incredible.
Yeah, she's great.
I just don't care. I'm like, I think any of those people would be fine. I kind of am like, thumbs up, Ben Starr. You're just so excited to do this. So,
God, he's an enthusiastic boy.
Yes, he was. Supporting
this one,
Asterion.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Astarion's great. Ralph Ineson is also fucking great as
great. Sid, so. Amelia Tyler as the narrator is also great.
Oh, she's also fucking really good.
I probably would do her over Asterion because the narrator is so good.
Yeah. Oh man.
Honestly, all these performances are really good though. Except I don't know the Starfield one, but I watched a lot of Spider-Man 2. Laura Bailey did a great Mary Jane.
Yeah.
As Laura Bailey does. I'm like, has she done a bad performance in a game?
I can think of.
I don't think so. Like, she's just a good voice actress. So, Nintendo Game of the Year, Tears of the Kingdom. Not shocked there at all.
There's a great list there, though. Pikmin 4, Tears of the Kingdom, Fire Emblem Engage, Metroid Prime Remastered, Octopath Traveler 2, and Fae Farm.
I feel like that's just like, here, have a little something else. Because I think Fae Farm came out on PC as well.
Yeah, I was like, Fae Farm is the only one that stands out there. Not that it's a bad game, but like, wait, what?
Oh, and Octopath Traveler 2 came out on PC. And no, I think Octopath Traveler 2 was on most things.
It was on most things, yeah. It was on PS5.
I don't know these categories. So there's that. PC game, these are all PC game. Baldur's Gate 3, of course, Not shocked that it wins there. D4, Dave the Diver, Chia, System Shock, and Shadow Gambit. Like, all great PC games. The one category I had issues with here was the PlayStation one. Where the fuck is Spider-Man in this list? I'm just going to say it.
It's because it came out too late.
Oh, is that? Because I just look at it, I'm like,
That's
there's
the game.
only one game here. Well, okay, two, because Final Fantasy 16 will eventually be out on PC. But Humanity and Final Fantasy 16 are the only PlayStation exclusive games here.
But yeah, so Spider-Man 2 is the game that they were talking about where they said, why isn't it on here? Oh, it's because the cutoff date was end of August, beginning of September.
That would do it.
Yeah,
I have a feeling that would have won. I also am like, why would you give it to Resident Evil 4 on this list? I don't know if
surprises me too.
Wouldn't be the one. I'm like, it's a remake, and it's a good remake, but I feel like the other games really could
16 or Street Fighter 6, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Xbox Game of the Year should have been Hi-Fi Rush, honestly.
I think so too. You know what? Okay.
Or Pentiment. I would okay with a underdog win for Pentiment, but Hi-Fi Rush as well in the same way.
Yep.
God damn it.
I feel like Pentiment absolutely should have been it.
That would have been a fun thing. And then they got to most wanted game. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Sure, why not? These all look good. Hades 2 is there. Hades 2 was supposed to be out, I think.
Yes.
Like in early access, and it's not.
Yeah, so, they're like, we're just gonna wait till next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling at this point. We'll get another trailer, probably at the Game Awards.
I'm sure we will.
Well, actually, okay. Here is my. I won't bet on this, but my guess, because Hades premiered when they were like, hey, it's coming out at Game Awards.
Right.
Originally, like, dropped it like, hey, it's a new Supergiant game happening. I wouldn't be surprised if Hades 2 goes into early access this Game Awards.
Dude.
They would just drop a trailer and, hey, it's in early access now. Go buy it.
It would be Epic, right? Is that where it's coming at first?
Well, that was where the first one was. It was on Epic but that doesn't mean that they have the same. They're not tied to Epic as a publisher. So it's however they want to do it, although they might still do Epic because I think that worked fine for them in the end. But either way, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a way to buy and play Hades at the game after or during the Game Awards this year.
That would be great because that would be the right time to be ready for it. And I'd play more of the early access as opposed to what I did for Hades. Yeah. I'm looking at the Ultimate Game of the Year list. Spider-Man 2 is on that list, so I'm very fucking confused now. So is Mario Brothers Wonder. What the fuck is happening?
That's weird. I don't know why the Ultimate Game of the Year. I mean, I am not surprised that they gave it to Baldur's Gate 3.
No, of course not. Yeah.
Because I do think BG3 is gonna, like I said, clean up with most awards through a lot of shows. But yeah, like Alan Wake 2 is on here. Stuff that is past the cutoff is on this list.
Yes, exactly.
I don't understand. That's why I'm like this. Like, I think they need to be a little more consistent in their awards. Because I do not understand how they did this. But yeah, I think it's decent. I think there's just some weirdness with their categories, is my opinion. But this is the start. The Game Awards are December 7th. Nominees are tomorrow.
Or today, as you listen to this podcast.
I guess as people are listening to this podcast, it'll be today. So likely chatting about that next week.
Absolutely. Yep. The Baldur's Gate 3 versus Tears of the Kingdom versus maybe Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, I don't know what their cutoff is. I'd have to look. I would hope that it's like maybe like November 31st is the cutoff. Well, no, nominees are tomorrow. So October 31st? I don't know.
I don't know either. I've always thought that they cut off like all of November and December, but I don't know. They must have been collecting the votes.
There it is. Cutoff date. games eligible for the Game Awards this year must be available for public consumption on or before Friday, November 17th.
Oh. So it even could be Persona 5 Tactica.
It
But
could.
how would anyone have played it enough to vote for it?
I don't know.
Interesting. So some of those games get fucked.
Yeah. In a
bit.
lot of ways, I get why. So the Game Awards are different than, say, like the Oscars or those things, because people watch, like, the Game Awards. It sets itself up. It's like, yeah, the awards are there, and I think people care a little bit more about the awards as time has gone on, but they're there for reveals and trailers.
Yes.
Like the Oscars, you don't watch the Oscars expecting to see trailers from new movies.
No, you do not.
But they also make sure the cutoff date for the Oscars is the full calendar year.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have your movie out by December 31st of that previous year, but they always do their award shows in February for that reason.
Yep.
And I think there's just this weird thing where the Game Awards wants to survive has to also be a hype machine, so they can't push themselves out of the year. Because I would really love it if this was just like January 1st to December 31st of a year. That's what you get. Your game has to come out in that time. And our award show is in February, where everyone, even if a game comes out late December, you have a month to figure out if you want to include it in nominations or not.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen because people watch this stupid show for, and stupid in a light way, for the big reveals, world premieres, as it may.
Trailer for Hades 2, trailer for Shadow of the Erd Tree. Those two are happening.
I would think, actually, for sure. Definitely Shadow of the Erd Tree. It has to, right? Like, this is where FromSoft puts most of the trailers in Game Awards type places with Keighley.
Yep.
That this makes sense, and they've said nothing except for that screenshot, their concept art.
That was enough to get me to put up my fantasy critic list like a moron.
Yeah, it's not happening. Maybe Silksong will be available. They'll show a trailer and you'll be able to play it.
I already dropped that, so I hope not.
I doubt it. I don't think Silksong's coming anytime soon, no matter how much they want it to.
You've got two more games coming. You've got Super Mario RPG Remake and SteamWorld Build. I've got Persona 5 Tactica and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Everything else, Warhammer is probably not coming out.
No, because they just haven't said anything. Yeah. So I assume
Squires pushed and Elden Ring.
Yep.
So our inaugural is.
I think
basically
you win
over.
in the end.
Yeah. That was fun though. I really enjoyed that. So hopefully we'll do it again. All right. What have you been playing this week?
I play. Speaking of Diablo 4, a lot of Diablo 4.
Oh,
in my spare time, I have completed all the awards for the how would I say it? It's not the full seasonal rewards. It's the rewards for the vampire hunter stuff in the game. So I finished all that, doing all the blood tides, and then I've actually completed the season pass. I got a free season pass. I didn't buy it, but
how did you?
I don't know how I got a free season pass, but they're like, "Hey, activate it." I'm like, "Okay, I got a free thing."
Thank you.
So I got the whole season. I finished the whole season pass.
Okay.
Which was not hard, I should say, because it goes till January, and I'm done with it.
I like that it goes till January because I'm playing my new character and doing a seasonal character as my first character. So I feel like I have a chance to like get through the content.
You will.
In some way.
It's not insane. I'm having a good time just playing a Sork. Switched up my build. I leveled with Chain Lightning, but now I'm using Lightning Orb, but have a special legendary ability on me that makes the orbs not go out. They rotate around me, orbit around me as I cast them. It's a lot like
never stop. They just hang out there.
They eventually peter out, but they stay for a while. So I can get a lot going around me, and it's just run through everything and just watch everything just blow up as I run with these around me. It reminds me of Hammerden's, really, in some ways.
Nice.
So it's been a fun build. I've just been having a lot of fun building that. I think I'm level 77 now. I'm in the highest world tier now. I beat that capstone, so world tier 4. I'm enjoying it. Like, this is I think my qualms still are there. It's hard to know which loot is better for you, not from like you know what stats you're looking for, but there's no like loot filtering. So you still have to like the time it takes you to check each piece if it's better than what you have just takes too long. And I'm like, and I was going to look for if there was anything on that. That is a feature that they're working on adding as soon as possible. Like they have since launch, of being like they want to have more robust loot filtering. So ideally, I'd be able to go in and say, I only want you to show me items that have these stats on them.
That would basically be cool. Yeah.
But that is a known to the team of something to fix. Because it just takes too long to right now to just determine if something could be better at all. Just too much text sometimes. But the actual moments when I'm just playing through it, man, I'm just having a good time with it. Just
it's
complete power fantasy, and it looks good and feels really good to play.
It sounds good. I said earlier, the visuals are great. I actually so far am really enjoying the story, which I'm like, what the hell? It's got like little like story moments. Like I just did this one where I hooked up with these two, I can't remember the names, but two people going way down into the mines. One person with me is a woman whose mom is down there.
Yeah. Like, all right. Yep.
So I just completed that quest line. I was like, that was pretty interesting. Not, anything groundbreaking, but definitely better than Diablo 3's fucking nonsense.
Yep. I agree.
So it's just, yeah, wow. Like the more I play this game, I'm like, oh shit, is this going to make my list? I really feel like I'm diving back into like Diablo 2 era fun with Diablo. Yeah. So I probably put, I don't know, probably 10 hours into it now. I'm doing a ton of just the blue exclamation mark side quests just because I'm just having fun, man. I got my first treasure goblin popped out, and I was up in the snowy mountains and just led me into just a fucking 5,000 wraiths. And I just ignored all the wraiths, beat the treasure goblin with like my last sliver of health, picked up the fucking legendary ring, and then got killed.
Well, you got the ring though.
I got the fucking ring. All right. And it's not that great, but I was like, I want that. Give it. So I'm on that loot treadmill.
Yep.
For sure.
So I played that, and then I put in an hour to a Devolver game. Which one was it? The Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood.
What the hell? I've never heard of that.
It came out August 16th. It is recent reviews. 150 of them have it 95% positive on Steam.
The Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood looks great. That art style is great.
If you like tarot, this is your game. It's a kind of a visual novel, but you're building your own like tarot deck and reading, and like the tarot that you play down and select the meanings to, I think change the story and like what's going on. It's wild.
Ooh, this looks good.
It is a wild game. It completely makes sense that it's Devolver.
Yeah, it feels like their style for sure.
It totally does. And it's not in a way like it actually is pretty wholesome. It just has its own.
The Red Strings Club. I have that game.
Yeah, it's the team that did the Gods Will Be Watching, Red Strings Club, Essays on Empathy. All those games have been published by Devolver.
Very cool.
So this company just works with. I'm owned by Devolver now, but I'm pretty sure they don't own this company. I think they just have continued to work with them. Devolver is a place that clearly the studios that like working with them continue to work with them. Yeah. And this is one of them.
Well, my friend of the podcast, Bill, wants this on his. It's on his wish list, so it must be good because he likes great games. And that's Steam Deck verified. Excellent.
Yeah, I think it would work great on a Steam Deck. It's not complicated art. It's not really pretty pixel art, though. It is
really pretty pixel art. I'm going to add this to my wish list. Cool.
So I have a lot of Devolver games to work my way through and try to play, and this was the one that I was just like, okay, try this. And yeah, you like make your own tarot cards in it. Like you select different elements, and then it's like a simple layer-based it's not Photoshop craziness, but you can scale and rotate and move elements to like make a unique tarot card for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So like as you're building your deck. Um, so it's very interesting in that regard. I don't know where it's going, but I will probably continue to play it. I don't think it's that long of a game in as far as I can tell, but
I wonder what
hard to say.
Yeah. That's cool.
But
that you get
that's basically what I've been playing. Diablo 4 and then this weird thing that I switched it up with to just be like, nah, let's try this.
That's very cool. I'm looking forward to weekly reports on just some random Devolver game.
Devolver game? Yeah, the next one up is Wizard with a Gun.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
So, yes, but that will probably continue to be happening because I have a lot to choose from at the moment.
Yes.
But what about you? I mean, you played some Diablo 4, it seems like.
Played D4, awesome. And then today I was talking to my daughter. My daughter, we signed up for a climbing camp for Thanksgiving break, and she just loves, climbing gyms. So we've been doing that a lot. And then a long time ago, when whatever fucking reveal show this trailer was at, Joystick by Don't Nod, which is basically like you're climbing.
I mean,
you're climbing. And you came out. The 31st came out on Halloween. And then last night when I turned off Diablo 4, like the Game Pass thing was up. I was like, okay, I got to download Cocoon so I can play Cocoon. And I was like, oh shit, Joystick is on Game Pass. So I was like, my daughter might like that. So I downloaded it. And then I told her today for our game time, like I wanted to show her this new game. And we played for like two and a half hours, which we normally don't do. We played for quite a while today. And it's finicky because the control, I'm trying to think of which game does the same mechanic, but it's left, right trigger, left, right hand, and then your left stick moves the hand. So it's almost like a Octodad or whatever fucking thing. Even like baby steps where you're like controlling a limb and trying to get it to connect.
Yeah.
And as you're climbing, you gotta go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then you get different kinds of you can drill in to get a clip into the wall. So then if you fall, you're like real climbing, you just kind of hang there. And you're just discovering the history of this tower, and you're just climbing up. And it's a puzzle game where you're just trying to figure out, how do I climb up? How do I use my new skills to keep climbing? It looks really great. I put a video in the Discord earlier. You maybe saw that, but and my daughter loved it, and so did I. And it's only 4 hours, and we played 2.5 hours, so I could beat it tonight. And I was like, so do you like it? Do you want to keep playing with Daddy, or do you want me to finish it by myself? She's like, don't finish it by yourself. I want you to wait for me. Okay. When can we play it again? Because I really want to play it again. So I was really, really, really impressed with it.
So the studio that made it, Don't Nod.
Yep.
Games they made, Life is Strange.
Yes, isn't that interesting?
And Life is Strange 2. What they're best known for. And weirdly, I'm looking at their list. I'm like, oh, they did the game Remember Me for Capcom, which I know in the end didn't get the best reviews, but it was incredibly ambitious. But that's cool. I didn't know the history of this, really the company in that way. But yeah,
I think
I have some people at work
that
have been like looking for Jusant quite a lot. Like really, they're a couple of work that are climbers, actual like.
Oh, nice.
Go out into the mountains and climb. Some great climbing in Washington State. Should say that. And they are really excited for this game because of its more. They wouldn't say like full realistic climbing, but trying to focus a bit more on the climbing mechanics of being like, all right, you have to think about your paths up, hand placements, where you're going.
It does that, and it like kind of mimics the stamina system. Like you like shaking out your arms, like I need to keep going up, and I'm shaking out my arm, I can't go up. Like I don't have the strength to do it. I don't climb, but I'm there with my daughter while she's climbing. And I kind of see a little bit of that. So I've been playing that. Played Diablo 4, Rocket League on my normal Thursdays, which was a ton of fun. Oh fuck yeah, there we go. I was like, there's something else I gotta talk about. My daughter and I beat Mario Wonder.
Nice.
We've been playing school mornings. When it's my morning with her, we play usually 15 minutes while mom is making breakfast. So if it's my morning, I'll play with her, and she'll cook, or if it's my wife's morning, she'll watch something with my daughter while I cook. But we just got through when we got to Bowser's World, there's like 3 levels, and then you beat Bowser. So in like 4 15-minute sessions, we got through all of it. Like, it was really quick.
Right.
And the boss battles are really quick. They were interesting, but the boss battles overall, I think, are the weakest part of Mario Wonder. It's just kind of not a lot, which is fine. There's a lot more of just like the quick level discover secret exits and things like that. It's all very cool. But yeah, we beat it, and my daughter was so proud of herself, and it was so cool to see like Toadette at the end be the hero. Like, she's not, no Mario around, it's just her, and I was Yoshi. We didn't play Mario once. We played every single character except for Mario, which is great. So yeah, played that, enjoyed that. I think I was thinking it was going to be like my game of the year. This is amazing. And as I played through it, I was like, okay, some of the weak parts of the game are shining through a little bit, and it's really about the boss. The boss stuff. It really pulls it down a little bit for me. If the boss battles were great, it would have been like 5 out of 5. This is more of a 4 out of 5 for me. But a really, really good 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I saw. I don't know if you've listened or watched the Kind of Funny Top 10 Mario.
I have not. I saw it on my YouTube.
I watched the whole thing. It's interesting. It's interesting lists overall. I don't disagree with their number 1 and number 2s at all.
I'll have to check that out. Because did they mix 2D and 3D?
Oh yeah, it was just any Mario top 10,
Mario. Okay.
and in one there's way more than 10 Mario games.
Yeah.
So they're like, there's a lot of Mario games that aren't even on this list. To come up like either one of them.
Mario's missing.
I can tell you, Sunshine does not make anybody's list.
Thank fucking Christ. God damn it. I love Mario. It's my favorite game franchise of all time, and fuck that game.
Yep.
Oh my God. It's just awful. In my view. I'm sure people like it. Awesome. So yeah, that's all I played this week. My wife helpfully reminded me I forgot that this next week is the last week before Thanksgiving break. So
it is.
Apparently we're coming up to Thanksgiving break, which is great. So
I'm taking some time off. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know what you get off as a professor. Do you get the whole week?
Off is not quite right. It's non-instructional days. Okay. But it is the whole week, so I'm not teaching that week.
That's cool.
But I'm doing other stuff. I'll be grading because my students.
Yeah. No, I'm just literally taking most of that week off. I'm just
very cool.
I'm done.
I'm out of here.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just like, I just need some mental time.
Just hanging out at home, playing some games.
Play some games. Probably play some stuff with my kids, and they'll have a good chunk of that week off as well. So it'll just be a nice relaxing time.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
All right. Well, we're back next week to talk about the Game Awards nominees. Getting into that fun part of the season, man. This fucking year is just flying. If you like us, please rate us on your podcast service of choice, and we will see you next week.
All right. Later, everyone.